Oh my goodness. Hey, I was trying to set up. Hold on a second. I don't even know if anybody's there. We're going to find out. Hi. So I'm just setting up my playlist real quick. You can chill out. You can chill out. I have company that you're going to see and hear real soon. Um, Zeusman, are you going to say hello to the people? Are you ready to say hello to the people? Hmm? Um, let's see if any. Pepper, you want to go first or? So I'm literally just trying to find something to play while we're talking really quick because the puppies are going to be talking if I don't find something. And hopefully I am not flagged because this is all of my music for my shows at least. Come on, Pepper. Come on. Okay. So before we get started, this pepperoni. Pepperoni, do you see yourself? I'm on puppy duty this week and I'm going through it. I'm not gonna be able to focus with this weed. Okay, so we got pepperoni, and then Zeusman is on the floor. I'm sure you'll see him before it all ends tonight. I hope you all are having a great day, great evening. I think it's what is it? I think it's St. Patty's Day. I think that's what it is. I think it's St. Patrick's Day. And so happy St. Patty's Day to all of y'all who are celebrating. Okay, Pepper, I'm putting you down. Hold on a second, y'all. She's a lot. Okay. Yes. And then, where's my book? I promise I'm ready. I've been waiting for this since the last time we were together. Okay, so bam. What's up? What's up? What's up? This is the second session for the Ka Music Collective. Truly, I haven't even been like, oh my goodness. One second. Enjoy the vibes or the music, I should say. Okay, I'm back. So, yeah, again, this is the second session for the Ka Music Collective. This is something that I am doing honestly because the world is crazy and I am trying to not get caught up, right? A lot of things that are happening, and instead of watching the what is it? What do I call it? I call it America's reality show. That's what I'm calling the news. Like every day, there's like a new development with our new government officials. So I'm basically staying aware, but like not getting caught up because they're doing things that I think right now it's just to get people kind of worked up and frustrated and all of that. And I don't, that's not, they're not going to get me. They got me in 2020. So now we in 2025, and I'm honestly just looking forward to growing, connecting with other people who want to write music and collaborate and not just write it but then record it, and not just record it but then like release it, um, but making sure that we're taking care of all of those really essential things that can change the musician's life. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Keshena. I am a musician in Milwaukee. I play keys and drums and some percussion, some other percussion stuff. Um, I've been living in Milwaukee all of my life, born and raised here. Oh, I got a cute shirt on. Hold on. There's a lot going on right there. This is not even my shirt, but I'm finna show it because De La Buena is in Milwaukee. And they are a big reason and a big way of how I stay sane in this old crazy spot. Um, yeah, so born and raised here. My parents are from the South. I grew up spending most of my summers in the South, and then spending most of my adult life in Milwaukee. Uh, I've had the opportunity to do some traveling with this music thing. I traveled with my parents and the church as a child. And I'm going to turn this down because I know I'll get flagged. That's Bob, though. That's Bob Marley, right? Um, but yeah, so I've done a lot of traveling with music. Honestly, this is the one of the reasons why I chose music as a career was because of the opportunities to travel and meet people, um, work with other people. I felt like I could do I could do traveling in um, a lot of different fields, but it wouldn't feel good to me unless it was like something that I was actually passionate about. So hence the music thing. I'm trying not to repeat myself, so excuse me if you've watched any of the other videos and you're like, why is she saying that again? Uh, I'm really, really working on my next. Like, if you're watching this right now, you are watching me actively work on my next. I teach at a local college here. I'm blessed enough to teach music at a college here at Milwaukee Area Technical College. Boy, boy, what's the matter? Do you want to? Yeah, just sit down and be a big boy. Right. There you go. Uh-oh, don't sit on your sister. Can somebody read this face? I'll translate it. It's saying, please help me. Because I got a puppy and a pony. You want to see the pony real quick? Watch out, Pepper. Come here, Zeus boy. Come here. Oh, well, he's not ready. He evidently is waiting on his special entrance or announcement. Okay, so yeah, I think I was talking about the traveling with the church, and then like yes, I work at the local college, and I am literally working on my next with this collective, this music collective. Yes, KA, those are my initials, but of course I had to be creative, and so I ended up remembering a trip I took with one of my best friends. So, what's up, Joe? I gotta tell them about when we went to Las Vegas and I saw the KA. I think it was like for Cirque du Soleil or something. And I was like, what? That's so pretty. And then so years later, here I am using that image in my head to create something physical um, that will hopefully infuse my beliefs and work ethic and interests and attract other people. This next that I'm doing, I don't even know. Like, I know what I want. I'm not really sure how to get there. And so I'm not afraid to say that either because I've literally done just about everything. Um, just about. I have worked in fast food, even though that was like 30 years ago, 30 years ago. Yeah. I've done corporate. I have an accounting associate's degree. I started in corporate. That was fresh out of high school. I think my first office job, I was thinking about this the other day. My first office job was at a place called Business Against Drunk Drivers with one of my mentors. Her name is Darcy Smith Todd. Can't believe that it's just coming out of my mouth. I haven't talked about Darcy or talked to Darcy in years, but she was a huge part of um, like training me for corporate. She had a small nonprofit, but I learned a lot from working with her as a teenager. And I'm going to back up and just mention the other amazing women that taught me so much. Boy, why don't you go lay down? You guys want to meet Zeusy Boy? Come here, baby. Come here. Come on. Come to mama. Come here. Can you give me your pot? Pepper, watch out. Your brother want to sit down. Hello. Oh, okay. So thinking of the women's, I heard that it's Women's History Month. So I'd mentioned Darcy. Um, I'm really just trying to get to my mom because my mom is the first woman shh, shh, that taught me everything. Um, I get ready every single day. This is my mama. This is my mama. This, like, all of the girly part of me, I'd be like, that's my mama. Um, I grew up watching my mom work so hard at my house, at the home, not at my house, at our home and at our church, and then with any and everything else that she did. Her home was immaculate and still is probably, and the church was always like just running in a certain order. She taught me structure. She taught me how to cook, how to clean. My God, so many things. And I'm so grateful. Even though I don't get to see and talk to her as much as I used to every single day. I'm thanking God for my mama. And then there were a host of other women when I think of my childhood that spoke life into me. And I can't talk about them too much because I'll start to cry. But come here, come here, come here, sit down. Thank you. But yeah, so I'm thinking of the people that come to my mind from back in the day that taught me so much. One person is Gloria Brittman. Her name was Gloria, Miss Gloria. And then Andrea Carter. I want to say those two names because when I talk about them, I start to cry. Um, those two women, in addition to my mom, and I know there's so many others like my sister, my amazing sister Trish, they poured into me as a young child and young lady. And every single day, I think of them and thank God for them. Uh, Andrea was the one who introduced me to Darcy. Andrea is also the person who started a school and orphanage, I believe, in Africa. And so, but this was after, because I believe I mentioned Andrea and James before, Carter, the Carters. So Andrea and James were ministers at the church that my dad pastored, and they went along with me, mom, and dad to Jamaica and the Bahamas. It was because of Andrea that my eyes were opened up and to so many new things, right? I believe I talked about my first trip to Jamaica and how I was like just completely taken over by bop and the reggae. Um, and that is because of how amazing Andrea's brain was and is. She showed me so much as like a big sister and then like a mentor. Um, and then meeting Darcy, working under Darcy, Andrea, and my mom, I learned so many business skills. This is where I'm going. Okay, because be quiet. Be quiet. So I was talking about like how I've done everything, just about everything. When I say that, it is the truth because office administrator, uh, administrative assistant, um, payroll, uh, um, research and development, um, every janitorial. Seriously, every single thing that you could possibly do outside of like the OnlyFans, like that kind of thing. Like I've never done that kind of thing, but I worked at UPS. Yeah, I was stocking trucks. I was a driver. I just stopped door dashing with my dad because I realized that I am not built for the streets. I knew that before, but yeah, I am not supposed to be in a car all day. I've learned that just this year. And so, what I am doing now, now that I have a home that I can think in and process and sleep and rest and rejuvenate in my home, I can actually start like looking for what is to come because I have been bouncing around. That's what musicians do. I can't say all musicians do, but because I mean, like the church musician, if they're built for it, they don't have to look for other churches, right? So I don't know. I haven't been a church musician for like maybe it's been about 5 years. It probably a little less than that. I was a music director at church for over 20 some years. Um, and so by the time I got to 30, I was like, there's got to be a better way because uh, yes, I was playing. I was being compensated, if you want to say that. um but I didn't see like a future because there was no way to like grow and expand. If you're in a church as a musician, usually you're going to play and give your all. You're going to sacrifice all of those hours of rehearsal. That's not the sacrifice. That's like investment. That's what you're supposed to do as a musician. You're supposed to be rehearsing all day or at least rehearsing and being ready for services. That's what we do as musicians. We learn the material as it is written and go and play it, right? And do our best and make it sound, know our equipment, um, be there, be ready, right? That is a part, that's what we do as musicians. But what a lot of people are talking about, and I think I see a movement happening where um a lot of people are not just satisfied with being the church musician, and they don't even want to be superstars, but they're like, yo, these Saturday rehearsals, the one or two or three services on a Sunday, possibly weekly services. That's great if you're gonna get sure. That's great if you're into like being seen. What isn't great about all of those things is if you have a family, your family is not seeing you at night because you're at rehearsal. Um, they're definitely not seeing you on Sundays because you playing at church. Um, if you are doing anything outside of church playing, then your family probably not seeing you at all because like how you gonna play and be other places and be with your family. Like for me, I had to give up church playing because I had a daughter and I married her dad, but it didn't work out. So it was all on me to make sure that she was good. And so when she was in middle school, I remember this oh so very well. I had her to around 25. I believe I was 25. And I was I had gotten out of church. I was trying to get out of church. But somehow I got married and talked into staying, right? Even though I'd given my 25 years. This is what I'm talking about. I should have had a pension at 20 or at least 18 years, right? Um, but I had her, was taking her to all of those services, all of those rehearsals, all of and it was cool for a little while. But then when she started school, and not to mention when she was a baby, she was going to work with me at this place. Yeah, I had those jobs where it'd be pretty quiet like this. I'd come in, Gabby would be in a car seat or in her little bouncy chair right there on the side of me, and I'd be typing away. Right. I took Gabrielle to school. She was at MATC with me learning solfege. I tell this all the time because as a parent, whether you're single or not, your responsibility is to your children since you decided to bring them into the world. Um, I knew that it was my responsibility to take care of her, and there was nobody else that I was willing to give that to. I had my baby because I wanted my baby, right? And so made a lot of sacrifices to keep her close and not have her in so many people's hands. Like, yeah, she was with family and close friends, but like these daycares that come pick your kids up, and yeah, I wasn't doing that. I was not okay with that. So I sacrificed a lot just to make sure that she was safe as a baby and growing up. And then as she got into school, I said, okay, maybe I can get more work. Um, and so what I did, I would take on. I was still playing in church. Okay, still playing in church, but I would take on like temp service jobs, right? In order for me to stay flexible, be able to get to her if she needed me, but still be doing what it was that I know I wanted to do. And I was good enough to get paid for it, right? So I hear a lot of conversation about purpose, and people have their own thoughts and everything about, what is your purpose? You need to be working in a field that supports, all of that. And I thank God. I am grateful that I was raised in a church that taught me how to be a musician and direct and all of that. I am not sure whether music is my only purpose, because I feel like um, I was given a beautiful baby. So parenting is super important to me, as well as like being an available and functioning adult for my parents. When they need me, I want to be able to help them. And just playing piano was not going to provide for my family. Um, and so I needed to take other jobs. It wasn't until like 2016 ish that things started to make sense for me musically. Um, I was in like four bands and still playing in a church. And I was burnt out. I was exhausted, ready to fight in church because people was talking slick, and they would say hallelujah at the end of the phrase, and I'd be like, God didn't say that. I was raised reading the Bible, so I'm not okay with just sitting through church services where people vent and scream. Like, you got to be teaching the people something. And if I find out that we are trying to manipulate congregations, I'm not going to be a great organist or musician. And I'm not saying that's what was going on, but I had just had too much. You need to learn how to walk away when it's time, instead of staying in a situation that is going to make you turn bitter and angry and frustrated. Right. So, um, around 2015, 2016, and so I had mentioned my accounting degree, right? I was literally in school trying to get my bachelor's degree in accounting, and I stopped. I was like, what am I doing? I would be doing the homework, and I was like, why am I doing this? I hate this. I don't want to do any I don't want to see numbers. I don't want to learn code and law. I don't need to know that stuff, right? And so what happened was, it was like a hard stop. I quit the church. I quit one of the bands, and then I went to a temp service and got a job at like the school, working for the school district. in the nutrition department, right? So I'm over there just to type in and trying to figure out my life. But I knew that I was not going back to the things that I had outgrown. And I'm not saying like I'm better. I'm just saying like most people who work 30 years, they're done. There's no reason for them to keep going back. And so that's the way I felt about church or being a church musician. I still love God. I mean, I never stopped loving God or his people. I just choose not to give so much of my time and effort doing the same thing. Um, so that was a really difficult period because I was working at the school board. No, I was working at the school in the school district, but it was just part time. I was doing that. I was teaching part time out of my house. I was also teaching at a place called School of Rock. I loved that spot. Oh man, I'm trying to remember her name and shout her out because I went to school with her. She's the one that hooked me up with that job. So 3 jobs plus the band with a kid. It was so hard. It was so hard. And when I tell you I was living in the hood, I was living in one of or the worst zip code in Milwaukee, 53206. I think that's what it was. Basically 26 in North Avenue. Yeah, 25th. Right. So um, I had done all of that work for the Lord in the church and still was like living here. And I was like, I got to do something. So it was a hard shift, but I kept going. And my daughter and my parents were my motivation to just keep pushing because I knew that where I was living at that time was not where I was supposed to be. And I'm a big believer of like, if you're frustrated and if you're angry, get mad enough to do something about it. Right. So I was mad enough. I was angry enough. I was frustrated enough with my situation to do something about it. And that meant not playing as much, like not being seen on a huge, beautiful stage with lights and everybody calling my name, all of those accolades that many musicians love to get. Right. So I was happy to give that up if I was going to get like stability and safety and rest in return. So I did that hard stop. Was working at the school for a while, and then I am not really sure. Oh, I remember now. What's up, Renee Dudley? This was my manager in the nutrition department at the school board. Renee tells me one day because she knew that my the temp assignment was about to run out, right? And so she was trying to either get me a job in the accounting department at the school, and then she says, "Oh, I still play cards with my old colleague at a nonprofit. They're looking for someone for full time benefits, and it's arts related. You should just go check it out." She hooked us up via email, and y'all, I am not kidding. My life went from really, really sad and depressing to what in the world? It went from this to this. Not overnight, but the shift was like amazing in my brain. and like in my life overall, because instead of working several jobs, barely able to pay the bills, I went to work in the one job as an administrative assistant for United Performing Arts Fund. And thank you, Bruce. I'm always going to shout these people out because they were very instrumental into like changing my life. um, and so working at UPAV, I began to see like what was available um, on the other side. And when I say the other side, I mean outside of poverty, outside of the struggle. I was living, by the time I started working for UPAV, I I had moved, but I was still in the city. Gunshots, car wrecks. I think the first year I moved back to my family home, there was a baby left on the porch next door. Like somebody literally got out of their car and put a baby on the porch and drove off. And that baby was outside for like hours. I found out later. But yeah, this is the kind of stuff this is where I was living. You can't create in that kind. I mean, you can create in that kind of environment, but I wasn't creating what I wanted, right? If we are going to talk about what we see and what we feel, and all I was feeling was frustration and depression, I was like, I'm not writing about that no more, right? So being able to move out of that situation, or should I say be living there and settle down, being able to be living in that situation. And I was driving downtown. So I was living in like the lower level of our first family home. It was a duplex. I was living lower level in the city, driving to this gorgeous building downtown. It's on the sixth floor. Um, I think it's called the Third Street the food marketplace now, but back in the day it was called a Grand Avenue, right? So basically, I'm working at the mall at a building right next to the mall on the sixth floor, seeing the city. Like that's where I would spend my days, and then I would go right back to the hood. And a lot of times I was because I don't know that many people and don't have money to eat out every day, right? So I would go home. Or because I got tired of going home, because every time I would go home, I would see the same homeless people begging, um, tons of accidents, like shooting in the middle of the day, right? So blood pressure sky high all day. Going back to work, I was like, you know what? Jesus gotta help me, right? Because I was like, I can't keep doing that. But this is a part of my journey, and I'm sharing this, hoping first. I'm hoping that I can help somebody. If you are going through it, ask yourself: Are you mad enough to fix the situation yet? Because a lot of people just like to talk about the situation. I was so frustrated. I was like, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to get out of this, get me and my baby up out of that house. And it wasn't the house, it was like the situation. Because I know that you can end up in Beverly Hills and still be just broke and poor and pitiful, right? So it was a real mindset shift for me, um, to go from the person that I was, who was giving, God fearing. But I really did feel like, you know, if you had a lot of money, it probably wasn't a good thing. And, um, where I'm living now, you would have had to brainwash me and probably put me on drugs for me to even say that I would be living in a place like, and my place it's not like drop dead, but it's like now again, I can sleep, I can rest, I can sit on the porch and there are no gunshots in the day or the night. They probably are down the block, but they not on my block. And um, and it was because of the mind shift, saying that I was worth the effort. Um, yes, I had a roof over my head. I had food, clothing, you know, the essentials of life. I had those things, but I was very much depleted and sad and not looking forward to anything. And I had to make a real deep dive on the inside and ask myself some hard questions like, um, what did I really want? If I remember people would ask me what you want, what did I want? I'd be like, I don't know. I could tell them what I didn't want. With everything that I had seen, um, I couldn't give you a real answer as to what I wanted, because a lot of what I saw was just sad. Um, I would love a marriage, but I'm not willing to put up with foolery and dysfunction, right? I wanted a safe home. Um, Again, if somebody had a told asked me what I wanted, I probably would have told them I want to live by the lake. But I had no idea that I was just a few steps away from being able to do that. And it wasn't money, or money was a part of it, but it was my mind that I needed to clean out. I had to clean my brain out because that stuff that we feed ourselves every day, those inner thoughts, like, will either make or break you. And so I learned that during that period of time. So I went from working like 4 part-time jobs to just that one job. Um, and I truly believe that God had his hand all over it because it really gave me an opportunity, again, to see what was on the other side and to take care of myself because not long after, I mean, maybe 2 years, I think I was 2 years in and then needed a major surgery and had the insurance to do that, right? To take care of that. So, um, God is good, and I ain't never gonna say he ain't. God is good. You won't hear me um, saying too many church things, or let me say, you probably will, but you won't hear me saying I'm going to church because I learned through by reading the word and then living this thing that the church is on the inside. And so um, it is a blessing to um, be able to process everything that's happened and still have joy because that's what's happening for me right now. Um, is everything perfect? Absolutely not. uh, do I need help? Yes. Um, I am down to one job again. I'm still teaching at the college. It's part time though. I am teaching 7 classes. Wait, three, 6 classes, but it's still considered part time. I don't get benefits or any, health benefits or anything. But the connection to people and the colleagues and the amazing things that happen outside of my purview, that I'm introduced to is amazing. I can't act like it's not a blessing. So although it's part time, I'm grateful. Um, I am so grateful because working at this one place has allowed me to fall back in love with the thing that that just makes me grin all day, which is music. I watch TV just to hear what songs are playing in the background. Um, and being able to learn from other instructors has been amazing. All those years of trying to figure it out, I feel like led me here. And although I'm still trying to figure it out, at least I'm motivated with the positive feelings, those positive emotions. I used to be um, led by fear and anxiety, right? I talk about this with my students in Voice Lab a lot because a lot of my Voice Lab students don't want to sing, they don't want to be there. Um, and working through their anxiety and their fear in class, I just be like, Lord, this was me. This was me for years, like just trying to do basic things, right? So, being led by joy because I'm truly so happy um, to to be a musician and to share any and everything that I know with somebody. Like I'm happy to share it, um, share the information, um, and I'm coming from a place of gratitude instead of fear and anxiety. And so this right here is this right here is me um, putting it out there. Look, Jesus, and the universe and the stars and the moon and Muhammad and whoever else and Buddha, all of y'all. I hear you. I thank you for bringing me this far. I am asking you to connect me with the people that I'm supposed to be connected to. I keep seeing that thing where they say your people are coming to you. Don't be scared, okay? People, here I am. Please take me. No, I'm looking for people to write with, write songs with. Um, and I'm looking for excellent engineers who have like a good workflow. And like, if you know that it takes you 2 weeks to mix and master, that's awesome. At least you know it takes you 2 weeks. I hear like some people can mix in a day and master in a day. Like, that's awesome. If you know what your workflow is, we should probably be talking because I got tons of songs and shows. This is my song book. Okay. Um, Tons of songs and shows. And I'm always trying to put something together. So um Audio engineers are excellent. People who can mix live uh, performances. I'd love to meet you. And people who want to like just run and go and do all the things. I want to meet you because yes, I'm still hungry for this thing. Um, I remember being super hungry about this music thing as a teenager. In my 20s, you couldn't tell me nothing, y'all. You couldn't tell me nothing. RIP to all of the amazing artists that have gone on recently. I can't even talk about them. So, yeah, you know who they are. I remember being so inspired by Angie Stone and Roy Ayers, Roberta Flack. I remember. And so I am still so much inspired. Um, now, I'm not going to lie. I kind of lost all my inspiration when Prince left. I was like, I don't want to have nothing to do with this world. I'm done. Because I really was like working my what do you call it? I was working my confidence up to to go see him live um, in that last year of his life. I'd seen him in my 20s. I think I talked about this in the first session. I saw him in my 20s, but it was truly like my intention to see him because he was doing those pop-up shows. And my baby girl was getting just old enough for me to be like, I'm not gonna leave you with nobody. We finna go. I was gonna take her to see a show, see him live, because he was doing those pop-up shows. And when he transitioned, I was like, I'm done. There's nothing else for me to really be doing here. I was literally just living my life for my daughter and my parents. And then I fell in love with Afro beats. Yeah. Uh, Thank God for technology. Um, I fell in love with Afro beats. It was when I was working at UPAV. So this was like 2016, 2017. Um, I started listening to Fela Kuti. I don't know if I'm saying it the right way, but Fela, he's the reason why I even know the term Afrobeat. And then I heard Yemi Al Alade, Yemi Alade. I think I'm right. So it was like Yemi, Ty Savage, Burna Boy, Kid. It's a whole bunch of I can't even say their names. But my Afrobeat playlist that I made a long time ago, that is how I became inspired again. Hearing those sounds and those rhythms. It was also because of this band. Shout out to David Wake and the amazing De La Buena crew. Yeah, it was hearing those sounds and dancing to them that gave me, it was like, it's like you wanted something to live for. You wanted something to help you get up in the morning. Oh, bam. That's what Afrobeat was to me. And then Afrobeat reminded me how much I loved reggae because it really went from, I was doing a whole lot of stuff back in the day. I was like in a folk band and a blues band and an experimental band. Like we was doing some all sorts of kind of music. But it was when I started going to the De La Buena shows and start. I'll never forget it. I'll tell y'all that one day. Remind me to tell you about the De La Buena, the first De La Buena show I went to. But it was at the De La Buena shows I started dancing and moving around and all of that. It was when I had that emergency surgery that I had the opportunity to see reggae, because if I hadn't had that surgery, I wouldn't have been outside during my recovery. I think I had like 6 weeks. I had 6 weeks off. So during that 6 weeks healing period, I think week 3, I went outside just to see whether I could stand, because I was used to like standing for 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours doing shows. So to that first reggae show, and was like, oh my God, I'm able to stand and I was enjoying myself. And I realized Afrobeat and reggae is what's getting me up every day. What a beautiful thing. It wasn't that I had to hit the pavement to run to some job. It was, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get up and turn my favorite playlist on and start my day. Like that little simple, that little tiny thing, right? When I tell you right now, all I dream about, okay, it's not okay. This is really what I want. If you ask, here it is. I want to be on Burner Boy's show. I don't know how. Actually, I do. I want to be a singer, but I got to learn all of the accents because I feel like my Midwest American stuff is not going to really work well. So I'm listening to all of his stuff. Okay, if I can't sing on his show, I can play though. I can play. I I can play. If I can't play, I can follow directions. You need somebody to do stuff and follow directions. I'm really good at that. Burner kind of replaced Prince for me. I love what he's doing. I love his low voice. I love like all of his accents and his all of his grunts and stuff. I think that's why I love Zeusman too, because he be grunting and I'll be like, that sound like Burner Boy. Okay. So yeah, I honestly, if I could, if I were dreaming, okay, let's dream. Can we? Okay, I give my students this exercise towards the end of the semester, and I usually put it to them like this. I say, okay, if you could have it your way, and there were no boundaries like money or health and none of that was an issue, what would you do? Where would you be in 5 years if you could have it your way? And so in 5 years, if I could have it my way, my shirt is, it's a lot going on up here. In 5 years or sooner, um, if I could have it my way and money and health and none of that stuff was an issue, I would probably be bouncing around from supporting the Marleys or some big reggae situation. I went to a Marley show. They don't need me. They got enough Marleys. So I said any or a reggae situation. Mortimer. Y'all know who that is? Mortimer. He did that song. Mm, 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 My love grows stronger each day. Baby, please don't hurt me just because you know I'll forgive. Oh my God. I want to play with Mortimer. Um, I really want to play with Berna. I really, really do. Or at least, be able to be on those shows again. Most of my adult life, any traveling that I've done, it's been because of music and because of my job. Um, yeah. Quincy Jones is gone. He was the other one. It's like between Quincy and Prince. I'm just like, I was very, very sad because I didn't have anybody that I really wanted to meet or aspire to, even talk to um, in the music field. But yeah, 5 years, if I could be doing it for real with them, and I'll go as far as this. I'll say this too, because in 5 years, even if I am healthy enough, I don't think I want to be jet setting every 2 days. What would really be amazing is to write with those people. Oh my God, if I could write with Berna and Yemi and Whiskey. Oh my God. See, this is where the inspiration and the dreaming, right? I went from maybe to like, oh, if it really, if if I really was able to get my way, we paying bills with royalties checks, right? We just paying all the bills with royalty checks because because yeah. How does that happen? I don't know. If I knew, I wouldn't be telling you I'd be doing it. But yeah, it's okay to dream. I had to learn that lesson too. I came to that realization. My baby must have been about 8 or 9, and um, I had realized that like all of my imagination was gone. Like I was so focused on like we just we got to get through the day. I gave her time to play, but she was we weren't playing together because I was too busy just trying to figure out, okay, how are we keeping the lights on? Or maybe the lights were off. How do I keep us warm tonight? Right? Parenting is no joke. I don't know how people doing this thing by themselves willingly, right? I couldn't, I wouldn't do it by myself if I had the choice. Um, but yeah, I'm grateful for being a parent because she she is so instrumental in helping me stay open and young, not naive, but like open. That girl has so much energy and she'd be doing so many amazing things, and I'd be like, oh my God, my head is spinning. And then I think of my mom, I'll be like, Lord Jesus, I probably took her through so much. Her head was spinning. But we all have a path, right? Hopefully, we are working towards things that bring us joy or a state of being, um, because the bills are always going to be there. Life is always going to be lifing, um, but we gotta create our own pockets of of joy and peace. And that is what I'm hoping, or that's what I'm doing. I'm not hoping. Um, I'm doing that over here, and I am hoping to connect with other people who feel the same way and want to do it for real, do the music thing for real. Okay, so yeah, I've been talking for an hour. I'm gonna wrap this up in just a few minutes. What I'd like to tell you, it's okay, puppies. I'm knocking stuff over, Lord Jesus. Okay. Um, so I got shows coming up, and I want to tell you about them real quick. Tell Benjamin to hold on. Okay, Benjamin, hold on. I got to tell the people. So I was originally going to talk about the songwriter circle this week. I'll do that next week, or I mean next month. In what, March, January, February, March. Oh, we in March. In April, we'll do it in April. This is what I want to tell you about, though. Okay, I'm going to do this real quick. So, um, I've got two amazing shows coming up. One is Friday, April 18th. This year, my band Sugar Blue is hooking up with my brother's band, the All Night Long Show band, David James. Yeah, we having a mashup on April 18th. Um, we're doing a show at the Falcon Bowl. I'm calling it the Reggae Soul Funk Party. That's because it's gonna be reggae, soul, and funk, and we're gonna be hallelujah. I don't know if that's the right word. Hallelujah. I don't think that's right. It's a word. I don't know. We having a good time on Good Friday. That's what that is. Okay. Good Friday, April 18th. We're doing our first two band show together at Falcon Ball. So hopefully you can be there. Go to my website and get tickets. And then the other big show that's happening is June 12th. It's going to be the Prince show. Yes, I told you about it before, and I'm telling you again because I'm so excited. Um, yes, so June 12th, the Prince show will be at Falcon Bowl as well. Sugar Blue is super, they probably tired of me, and we ain't even got started yet. Did I show y'all this last time? I don't know. Okay, hold on. Wait a minute. Okay. This is the kind of stuff I be doing. This is my fake charting right here. Okay. Um, yeah, I'm so happy and really excited about those two things. I gotta get going, you guys. We didn't eat dinner today. Thank you for joining me. Um, while I figure out my next. I'll see you next month.